now live in sunny Gran Canaria, which is a beautiful Spanish island, which is just off the coast of Africa. I love it with all my heart. It's one of those destinations that's hot all year round, and I can be sunbathing on the beach in January, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But the reason that I'm sharing my story is I want you to see my path, because all of us have a story. And actually, this is what I encourage my clients to do, is to share your story in your marketing. And a lot of the time we're like, but why would anyone be interested in me? They're interested in you because they're normal. They're a normal human being. And if you can sit there and share what you do and why you do it, then it gives hope to someone else. So, in a nutshell, since moving to Gran Canaria, I have been a PR. If you're not sure what a PR is, they stand front of house outside a restaurant or a bar, and they get people to come in and have food and have drink. To me, not a lot of people like doing that job because, you know, as with anything that's in sales, you get a lot of no's before you get the yeses. But, you know, the plus side of it is it's fun. You know, people are on holiday, they're relaxed, they're happy, and as long as you're not being an idiot, people warm to you, you know? So I have absolutely loved it. It suits my personality. You know, the likelihood of me saying, would you like a drink, is pretty high if you're on holiday. You know, so it just suits my personality. And I have learned a lot about selling from doing that. And as I say, I've been here nearly 4 years. So how have I now segued into doing what I'm doing? And there's a reason for this, and it will come as no surprise: the virus. And so when the virus hit, I had to get resourceful, and I know that I am not alone. There are many of you in this group who had to get resourceful. You had to think, maybe you were bricks and mortar and then you had to go online, or maybe you had to give up a career that you had and go and do another career. And so we've all had to deal with this. It has been an eye-opener, has it not? And so what happened was, sharing my story with you, there were a lot of businesses that were closing down in this particular centre where I worked. And my boss said, well, maybe I should shut my business. And I said, well, I can't tell you what to do, but you're legal. The police are not going to come in here and barricade you, tell you to go home. The airport's still open. We don't have a lot of tourists, but we do have some. So I came up with a suggestion, and I just said to him, why don't I do what I'm doing here physically, but do it in the Facebook group? So literally was PRing in Facebook groups. I said, I can't guarantee it'll work, but I can give it a go. And so that is what I did. And oh my God, I learned so much from that experience. I learned the power of social media. I learned the power of being online, and I learned what is good and what isn't good. Nobody likes hard selling. As I said with my client Sarah, she would, you know, come across as really desperate and really anxious for a sale, and I helped her to calm that down. What I learned by promoting my boss's business, oh, I can see you're on, Lindsay, thanks for hopping on. What I did when I was promoting my boss's business, you know, I likened it, when I was in the Facebook groups, because we have a lot of Facebook groups about our island. So when I was promoting the restaurant in the groups, I did it in a relaxed manner. I wasn't like, come to our restaurant, come to our restaurant. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Like, seriously. But here's the thing. People were in the Facebook groups more than normal because they knew, well, they were coming to the island, but they didn't know what was open. They knew that it was not going to be normal. So they wanted to know where they could hang out, where they could go for drinks, where they could go for food. So the tip that I want to give you, I want to liken this to you, because always have your customer in mind, always. So as much as I'm sharing my story, here's what I want to say to you. When you are in Facebook groups, don't push the sale. Be you. Share your experience. Share what you do in a way that feels relaxed. I can't impress that enough. So when I go into Facebook groups, I am constantly talking about restaurants, but I do it in a chilled way. Like, hey guys, I hope you're all having fun in the sun today. When you're looking for your evening meal tonight, check us out. And I do it in a really fun way. And people like that, and they get interactive, and obviously I'm showing photos and videos of the food, and they're like, oh my goodness, that looks really good, where are you, blah, 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 and conversations start, okay? But then, here's the thing, I'm not just going in the group and then disappearing, I'm checking out conversations. People are constantly putting up posts going, does anybody know a really good place to get this? Does anybody know a really good place where there's a nice view? Whatever, okay? I'm looking for these conversations and the questions that people are asking, and then I go and answer them. But I do it in a really, really informal way so that they just feel like they're having a conversation. And a lot of the times people will say, do you have the link for where you are? Could you just send it to me? It's not pushy, it's relaxed. And that's how I work. So I saw the power in being visible for your business. I literally have people who will come from all over Europe and will literally walk up to me and say, hey, Melanie, and I haven't a clue who they are, but they know who I am because I'm active in the groups. So they're like, oh, you're Melanie, we've seen your post. This is why we've come to the restaurant. And I have this happen daily. Absolutely. Every day people will say, we come here because we keep seeing the posts. So I want to say to you, liking it to your business, share what you do. Talk about what you do. Because when you think to yourself, oh, no one's going to be interested in what I do, they are. They're looking for a fix. They're looking for a solution. So it's your job to share that. And when you share that, share your story, share your life. It doesn't always have to be about a course or some coaching or a product. Share who you are as a person, because you're a person. You have hobbies, you have interests. Share it. So what came about from that is we eventually got to a point where tourists were taken away from us. And so I had to get resourceful. And what I had learned by doing all this was I love marketing and I love social media. So I created my own business, and the link to that, I've put it on this live. So when this live is over, click on that link. It's called Making Social Media Work for You. I highly recommend this when you're marketing and you're going into groups. Obviously, you need to check the rules of groups, but when groups allow you to put a link to your Facebook business page, do that. Or if maybe you are wanting to promote your sales page and that's allowed, share it. Like, it gives people the ability to watch a video, but then go, hey, I really like this person. I'll check out what they're talking about. That's a really good tip. So I created this business, Making Social Media Work for You. I know that many people do not like marketing, and I'm aware of that, and I love it. Like, if I lived in California, I would be going to all those conferences about the apps and marketing. I would love it. I would soak it up like a sponge. That is what I know is my unique selling point in a way, because I love it. I'm passionate about it, and I know that others are not. So this is where I know that I can sell myself in that way, because I want to help women who don't like marketing or who are scared to be visible. I know that most of my clients, when I'm asking them to do a Facebook Live, they're like, oh, Mel, seriously, I don't want to do it. They would rather clean the house top to bottom than go live on a Facebook Live. But a Facebook Live is a game changer. And if you're wondering why, ask me. Leave a comment on this, send me a message, because it's a game changer. When people see you, if you are not the face to your business, they're not interested. If people can, I know people get fed up hearing this, but if people can see Kim Kardashian or David Beckham or all these big names, they want to see yours. Why do you think people are going to want to buy from you when you're faceless? It's not going to happen. They need to know who you are, what you do, and once they form that bond, they're likely to become a client or buy from you. So here's the thing. I now do the two. So I am building my business, and I am also, now that tourism is open and tourism is set to go crazy this year, and I have started working for a new guy, and 2 weeks ago, I said to him, you need a Facebook business page. Can I just do that for you? So he was like, great, do it. The response has been phenomenal. I want to let you see the power of putting your content out there. I know when I speak to a lot of women, they're like, but I do all the posting and I'm posting on my Facebook business page, but nobody's seeing it. Here's the thing. You got to do the legwork. You have to go out there and promote that post like crazy. I am in a lot of Facebook groups about our island. The post, bearing in mind I've only had his page set up 2 weeks ago, the post that has had the most views got 23,000 views on it. And that's in 2 weeks. So what did I do? How did I do that? I went in all the groups and I posted and I shared that link. And that's what I do every day. As soon as I come off this live, that's what I'm going to do for my boss. I will put up a post. I'll get the link. I'll copy the link to that post and I will share it in all the groups. Why do I do that? Because it's bread and butter. It's bringing money into the till. And you have to be consistent with this, because if you're hit and miss, people are not paying attention to you. But if you're in there every day, people are like, oh, I see this restaurant. This looks really good. I had several customers come in yesterday because they had seen the posts. So I want to liken this to you. Are you telling people about your business every day? Are you? Because you will know if you are or you're not. And if you're just doing a token little post here and there, it's not even touching the surface. So ask yourself, am I being visible? Am I telling people what I do? Do people know what I have to offer? Do they know the services that I provide? Do they know the products that I sell? Are people talking about me? Are people referring people to me? If none of that is going on, you've got a problem. Seriously. And, you know, in all of this time that I set up my business, the world was in lockdown. The only way anybody was doing any form of business was online. Now the world is opening up. So now you can do both. Now you can market yourself online and you can do it offline. Are you networking? You know, the name of this group is Network Women. Are you networking offline? Are you going to business meetings? Are you going to business breakfast? Are you going to things in your area so that people know who you are? And I know a lot of time people cringe about that and go, oh, I hate going to those things. It just feels too forced and too pushy. They're vital. They are the lifeblood to your business. So there's something that I say to all of my clients, and it's these 3 things. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, these 3 things have to happen. You have to be visible, you have to be consistent, and you have to grow your community. I'll say it again. You have to be visible, you have to be consistent, you have to grow your community. If you're not visible, people don't know who you are. If you're not consistent, you're hit and miss and they don't take you seriously. But also the apps do not reward you as well when it comes to being on these apps, because you're hit and miss. So they're like, well, we're not going to push your content out there because you're not really on it much. And you can't sell to the same people every day. So new eyeballs need to be on your stuff all the time. So I want to let you know now about what I do with my business, as well as obviously, you know, promoting my boss's business out here. I am building my own business. So I want to tell you about a client that I'm dealing with at the moment, and she is based in Australia, and she works in the health industry in Australia. And I literally help her with her marketing. I write copy. I go into the Facebooks and the Facebook groups that are likened to her ideal clients, and basically let people know that she exists, let people know what she does, and get the word out there. What I'm really excited about is she has just launched a podcast. And I put up a post in a Facebook group saying what my client does, saying what her podcast does, who it's aimed at, and basically we were looking for guests. It's been phenomenal. Like, I literally have got so many guests for her. Like, I am so excited for her, because here's the thing. When it comes to your marketing, a lot of the time you don't have the time. You don't have the time to be running around and being in all the groups and being in all of the places all of the time. She's a single mom. She's got 5 children. She's busy. So it takes the pressure off her to go, you know what, just find me guests and then I'll go off and do the recordings. And I'm so happy for her. She will probably have about 2 months worth now of content. And it's going to like let her breathe, because that's going to be 2 months of content she can now create, because she's going to have these guests coming through regularly. And I can just filter that through each time I find new ones. And guess what? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a potential. Maria, who was on earlier doing her live, Maria Doherty, I saw her live and I was like, oh, I think my client might be interested in you. So I asked her to send me her websites, and I have forwarded that on to my client. And who knows? There's a possibility she may be a guest on my client's podcast. So when you are marketing, it's important to let people know what you do. It's important to get your business out there, but it's also important to network. When you see people online in Facebook groups, like, have conversations with these people. They're real people like you. So if you see someone and you like what they do, acknowledge that. If you see someone and you think, oh, I'd love to interview that person on my podcast, or oh, I'm writing a blog, I think they'd be perfect, I'd love to have them on board. Maybe you see someone and you want to collaborate with them. Reach out to people instead of holding back, because I know women are very guilty of that. We're like, oh, I really want to do that, but I'm not gonna do it. So, as I have said, I know that many women struggle at being the face of their business. They will constantly throw photos of the product if they're selling a product, or they'll have links to a landing page if they're trying to sell coaching, but they're not visible. And that is holding you back. People want to know who you are, but also they want to know what hobbies and interests you have so that you become a real person, okay? And it takes time for people to see what you are doing and why you are doing it. Because you could put out a few posts and think, well, I'm doing it, but no one's really responding. They're not going to instantly grab a hold of you. Some will, but not all. They're observing, they're lurking, they're watching. Just keep going. It's also important to engage with your audience. It blows my mind how many times I will be on apps and customers will have left a comment and the business has not responded. And I think, what are you doing? Like, if you have put a post out and someone has commented on your post, respond to them. It's common courtesy, number one. And number two, you might sell something or get a client. So it's important that you respond to every comment on your post. And as I say, networking, I did say it earlier, but networking is very important for your business, really important. People cannot buy from you if they don't know who you are, if they don't know that you exist. You know, you could have a girl, you know, especially MLMs. Let's just take, for instance, Body Shop. I'm only saying Body Shop because it came in my head then. You know, I'm not targeting them. It can be any MLM. But you could have a woman who is promoting Body Shop 7 days a week. Then you could have another girl who's promoting Body Shop twice a week. Who do you think is going to get the best leverage on that? It's how important are you? How important are you viewing your marketing? If you view your marketing as important, then you need to be active on it every day. Yes, you can't be in it all the time. You've got other things to do. You're running a business, but you need to be visible. People need to see that you exist. They need to be seeing your business every day. So if you are struggling with your marketing, then I am throwing something open to this group. I understand that marketing, it's a time suck, big time. I had a client say to me once, how often are you on these apps? And I'm like, I live on them. I'm on them all the time. But I appreciate that when you're running a business, that's hard to do. Yeah, as well as everything else you might be doing. Maybe sending emails out to your email list. There's so many, writing a blog post, trying to record videos. There's a lot you need to do. So I want to throw this open to you. Are you struggling with your marketing? After watching this video, are you thinking, you know what? You've raised some important points. I know I need to do it, but I need help. And if that's you, pay attention to what I've got to say. I am going to throw open to anyone who's interested in this group a free call. It's free. We sit down, we look at your marketing, we look at what you do, we look at why you do it, we look at how you do it, and we look at the vision for the year. I will help you create a marketing plan for your year. Because if you're just getting up every day and going, I hope this works, that's not marketing. Marketing needs a strategy. Marketing needs to think, when I do this, I'm speaking to that person. When I do this, I want that person to pay attention. When I do this, it's going to promote that. Yes? When I do this, I'm going to make sure that I do it over there because that's my ideal client. Like, you need to know what, why, how, where, what you're doing. And if it all just feels a bit clunky and a bit heavy and a bit like, because I know I speak to many clients and their marketing is just put on the side burner. It's like, yeah, I said I was going to do it, but I didn't have the time, whatever. If that is going on for you and you know, do you know what? I'm serious about my business this year. Like, this has got to happen. I am done with token gesture marketing. Like, I know I need to step up my game. I know I need to get on with this. Then leave a comment on this post, send me a message, and I will gladly sit down with you and look at where you need to improve. Look at how you get your marketing seen by the right people, and that, more importantly, and I know you're going to roll your eyes when I say this because you're going to go, I'll never do that. But I want you to fall in love with your marketing, and I'll tell you why. I love it when I'm in groups or I'm scrolling on by on these apps and I'll come across someone doing their marketing and I know they love it because they're passionate about what they do and it comes across. It can be in written format, it can be in a video, it doesn't matter. The passion is bouncing off that page, right? If you're not feeling like that, how do you think the person on the receiving end of that is feeling? If you feel flat about your marketing, guess what? Your customer's going to feel flat. But if you're excited, if you love what you do, and you can't wait to get out there and help others, they're going to get excited about reading stuff or watching your videos. So that's it in a nutshell. I'm going to hop off this now. But thank you, Lindsay, for letting us have this opportunity. And if you want to check me out more, click the link which is in this live, and that will send you over to my Facebook business page. You can check out what I do. You can check out the tips that I give on marketing and reach out to me. I'm a real person. I want to help people. So it's Friday. The weekend is here, people. Have the most amazing weekend. Get out there. Go sell your products. Go get some clients and have a great weekend. Ciao.